What's up, everybody? It's BBKDRAGOON here with tips to help you take down the Kell of Kells himself, Skolas. Immediately, I recommend you and your team run left after the cutscene. You're going to want to take out the Ghost Servitor. When Skolas is above 75% health, the only way you could do real damage to him is by taking out these Ghost Servitors. When you take it out, it'll give you a 20-second window in which you can do more damage to him. Do you see Servitor Bonds weakened? This is the opportunity you're looking for to nuke Skolas with all the solar heavy that you have. GJALLARHORNs, Hunger of Crota, Dragon's Breath. You want to try and get him to 75% health as quickly as possible, because once he's at 75% health, you no longer need to kill those servitors. You can do normal damage. So it's pretty easy to one cycle him, as we did there, and then once he's past 75%, you do not have to kill those servitors any longer. Some people think it's 70% or 65%. It's about a quarter of his health bar before you break the bonds and no longer have to do those servitor kills to get normal damage on Skolas. Once you have done this, he will begin tainting a Guardian's Light. What this means is he puts a debuff on a player. It lasts 30 seconds. You can see it on my player on the left who's got this green hue to him. And when that countdown reaches 30 seconds, he will die. You must pass this off to a teammate before this happens. It takes 3 seconds to pass it off. It's important to note that after you have passed it off, the previous player will be immune for 40 seconds, which means you must rotate. You cannot just pass it back and forth between the same player over and over again, and this will continue for the rest of the fight. If you do not have anyone you can pass it off to, since I just got the essence and the person who gave it to me is now immune for 40 seconds, he cannot take it. So what is the best option? To try and die in an area that is easy to be revived in. If there is no hope of having somebody else take it from you, you need to try and die in a safe spot so that when the teammate comes and gets you after your 30-second respawn timer goes, he has an easy spot to pick you up. My recommendation for the Devouring Essence is to try and stick with your team as much as possible. Nothing is harder than if a Guardian is on the other side of the map and you need to pass that debuff off. This requires intense communication. Our strategy was when we reached 15 seconds, we would say Essence 15, and then when we hit 10 seconds, start counting down. That way the teammates always knew when they were trying to pick that Essence up. It's good to not pass it off immediately. That way you can use the immune cycles to your benefit. From here, the fight is just a matter of running from one side of the map to the other. This is somewhat of a safe spot here, this platform, and the other platform we just ran from at the beginning of the fight, if you guys remember, that is another safe spot. You're going to be rotating from this side to that side, going around the outside circle of the ring. The enemies will slowly follow you, as will Skolas. This is a very easy and methodical method to taking down Skolas. You can rotate around the outside of the ring, which if you take your time and do it right, will not be full of ads very often. It's important to keep Skolas at a distance, because if he gets too close, he will blink up on you and do a ton of damage. The next phase of the fight occurs at 50% health. He will activate mines that must be disarmed, and he will do this again at 25% health. The best way I can tell you to do this is with a hunter that has camo or a titan that has a bubble. You can run all sorts of team compositions. I'm a self-res warlock, which became very helpful if I needed to just die with the essence and then self-res somewhere. Make sure you have plenty of heavy synth for this fight. You're going to want to have as much heavy ammo as possible. From there, it's just a matter of kiting Skolas from one side of the map to the other side of the map and getting as much damage in with your solar heavies as possible. He really doesn't, take that much time to kill, but you have to work your way from one side of the map to the other side of the map effectively and communicate with that essence. My biggest tip here is communicate with your team and don't be afraid to rotate. Going from one side of the map to the other side will keep you and your squad mates alive more often than just trying to stick it out. If you're struggling with the mines, I do recommend that you have a hunter that can camouflage or a titan that has a bubble. Do not run through the middle of the map unless it is for mines. The 35 enemies will just tear you up. Make sure you have plenty of heavy synth for this fight, because when you rotate from the two safe spots I've shown you, you'll get plenty of opportunities to put damage into Skolas. So to recap the fight, when it first starts, run directly left, take out the servitor, try and put as much damage into Skolas as possible, and get him down to 70%. If you don't kill him off the first servitor in the first 20 seconds, go kill the other servitor, he's on the other side of the map, and get him down to 70% health. Once that happens, he's going to begin tainting a Guardian for the rest of the fight. Clearly communicate who is immune and who is going to take it, and then communicate when they should take it. Communication is really the biggest element of this fight. At 50% and 25% health, Skolas will summon mines. This is not that challenging if you've got a team comp who knows how to use your supers, as I've explained. Hunter Camo is almost breaking in this fight. Finally, when you get Skolas down to the last bits, do not get close enough to him to let him blink on you. He can one-shot you at 34 with the direct hit, or two-shot you with his AoE. And make sure you have a treasure key when you go down to loot the chest, because you get the cool shader and ship in the game. Thanks everybody, I'm BBKDRAGOON. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this was helpful. If there's any questions about this fight, please let me know. I think anybody can do it, but just be patient, understand the mechanics, and you'll end up taking down the Kell of Kells.